Hi you guys, this is Khang. Welcome to my channel. In this video, I'm going to talk to you guys about who paid for the realtor. So whether the property, so there's two parts to this. If the property is listed, who pays for the realtor? And if the buyer bring us the buyer, who pays for the realtor? All right, who pays for the realtor fee? And one of our subscribers have asked me this question, so I'm going to make this short video to answer it. So if the property is listed, so let's say if the property is listed, typically the seller has to pay for the realtor fee, all right? The seller has to pay for the realtor fee, all right? The seller has to pay for the realtor commission. The buyer is not responsible to pay for the seller closing costs. The buyer is not responsible to pay for the seller's realtor commission. That's on the seller side, all right, you guys? Now, obviously, it can be negotiated. We have done this before, all right, you guys. But typically, that's how it works, all right. When the realtor came in contact with the seller and got that and tied up under contract with them to allow them to list the property, they understand that they are going to be the one that responsible to pay the full commission, all right. And the commission is typically 5 to 6%, all right. And typically, and also too, so that's called the listing agents, all right? The listing agent's the one that has the listing with the seller to list their property. And typically the commission is 5 to 6%. And if another buyer is bringing an agent onto that, then that means that commission, that 5 to 6% have to be split in half, which means 2 or 3% will go to the listing agents, and 2 to 3% will go to the buyer's agents. That's the typical transaction, all right, you guys? And the seller is responsible to pay for that realtor commission. Now, but there are times where you, unless the buyer negotiate and say, hey, Mr. Agent, I will pay for all the seller closing costs. And you can do this with a listed property. It's all come down to is that about negotiating and coming to the price that works for everybody, all right? You can do this with the property that is listed. You can tell the agents, hey, and we have done this, and it works. So we tell the agent, hey, we're gonna pay for all the seller costs. We're gonna pay for your commission. You know, there's no buyer's agent commission that you have to split. We'll pay for your commission. All right, and we pay for all the seller closing costs, but you know we want a discount, right? So that can be negotiated. But for this video, it's all about is who pays the agent. So if it's listed, then the seller will pay for the agent. So let's just say the property's listed and you came in, you made the offer on the property. The seller is responsible to pay for the realtor commission unless otherwise you negotiate that you're going to pay for it. All right, you guys? So that's it. Now, pocket listing. Pocket listing is agents who have contract with the seller to list their property, and before they put it on the MLS, which means before they blast it out to everybody to see it, all right, they call you and said, hey, Khang, we have this property here that I just got it under contract to list it, but before I put it out there on the MLS, are you interested in making an offer or buying it? All right, you guys. Now, in this case, the seller is still responsible to pay for the realtor commission unless negotiated. All right, unless negotiated. Unless, which means you tell the agent, hey, I want a discount on the property. Tell the seller, hey, I'll pay for all her closing costs or his closing costs. I'll pay for all their closing costs. I'll take care of your commission. And realtor commission, you guys, is negotiated. We have agents that saying, hey, Khang, we'll list your property and I'll charge you like 1% or I'll charge you a flat fee. You guys, everything is negotiable, all right? Everything is negotiable. So even if it's a pocket listing, you can tell the agent, hey, can we work out a price where, you know, what you want for your commission? And then so we can work out this deal. So it is negotiable, all right, you guys? But typically, if it's a listed property, if it goes through an agent, the seller is the one that is responsible to pay for the realtor commission, unless otherwise negotiated by you. All right. Now, the second one is let's say if you have a property under contract and then you're trying to wholesale it and an agent's brought a buyer. Okay, you guys, if an agent's brought a buyer. Now, so this is where it's going to come in with the negotiation. So when typically the agents who brought the buyer, they typically want a commission. 2.5% to 3% that's the standard, and that's what they typically looking to get. All right, but basically it's depend on your wholesale. It depend on your wholesale fee. All right, it depend on the numbers. All right, the number. So I know that there are wholesaler out there that sends out the deal and say, hey, you know what? Tag your fees on top. You know, they tell the realtor, hey, to tag your fees on top of whatever my wholesale price is to your buyer. All right. So now what is going to happen is that you get your assignment fee at closing, and then whatever the gap between that the agent marks up, you will have to now cut him a check for that amount. All right, you guys. So let's just say you put out there, for an example, if you put it out there for purchase price, including your fees and everything, for $100,000. And an agent, and you told the agent, hey, tag your fees on top of whatever the purchase price is. Now the agent's going to put it out to his buyer and say, hey, to buy this property, you will have to come in at 105. So now his buyer knows that he has to come in at 105. So now you got your 100. Okay, so basically whatever your assignment fee is for that $100,000, that $5,000 will go to that agent. All right. So I know some wholesaler that does that sent out their deal and said, hey, agents, we love to work with you, but please tag your fees on top of that price. All right. So that is one way to do it. Another way that we do it is that I just send out, hey, here's my purchase price. Okay. Here's my purchase price. Or here's my wholesale price, right? Here's my wholesale price. You bring me a buyer. We'll pay you, all right? We'll pay you. It really depends on the assignment fee, all right? It depends on if it's a $50,000 or $40,000, or if it's just a $5,000 or a few $1,000s in assignment fee. That really gonna be determined, all right? But when we send her out, we tell the agents, hey, you know what? You bring us a buyer. If you bring us a buyer, we'll get you taken care of. But before we even say that, they said, hey, Khang, if I bring you a buyer, what would you want for this? And I always ask them, you guys, don't give them the numbers. Don't be the first one to give them a number. Always come back and say, hey, how much would you want? You know, if we end up working a deal together, how much would you want out of this? And the reason why you ask them that, you guys, is you want to make sure that the agent or the other party is happy with what they're getting. Okay, you want to make sure that they're happy with whatever they're getting. So let's just say that you send it out there and you have in your mind that, hey, the agents call you and say, hey, if I bring you a buyer, what would you pay? And you'll be like, you know, in your mind, you'll be like, oh, I'll be able to pay you, you know, since this is a $15,000 assignment fee, I'll be able to pay you $2,000. But what if you ask the agent, what would you like? You know, how much are you hoping to get? So it's fair. And what if he say $1,000? If he or she, the agent say $1,000, now it's up to you. You have a choice to now give them more or the exact amount that they want. You know, for us, typically if the assignment fee is large, and I always give them extra. All right. If they ask for less than what I thought that I would pay them, I would always give them extra. And the reason why is you want to stand out in their crowd. You want to stand out. You want them to be like, wow, holy moly! I asked for $1,000, and Khang's going to give me $1,000 plus an extra couple $100. Nice. Right? You want it to stand out because obviously you want this to be a repeat business, right? You want them to, when you send out your deals, they're out there, they're hustling, they're hustling and they're trying to find a buyer for this property for you because they know that you are fair, you are more than fair, and that you're going to take care of them. All right, you guys? And so a lot of times that's what I would do, all right? And I've done that to like multiple agents. They call me up and they're like, well, Khang, if I find a buyer for this property, what would you give me? I'd be like, well, John, how much would you want for it, right? How much do you want for it? So that's fair and everybody can be happy. Well, you know, a lot of times you'll be surprised. A lot of times you will be surprised. And I always tell the agents, if I never worked with them before, I always tell them, hey, you know, we're in this for, I'm in this for a relationship, for a long-term deal. We wholesale a lot of properties, right? We wholesale a lot of properties, and I want this to be a long-term relationship. And typically, whoever we work with before, when we get that deal under contract, they go into our VIP list. So we send them out to them first so they can take a look at it. Now, when you say that agents, now their incentive of wanting to work with you is so much higher, because they know that, hey, you do a lot of deals, and they want to be able to work with you for that inventory, right? So a lot of times, because the reason why I say a lot of times, now check this out, a lot of times most agent, when you ask them that, you'll be surprised where they say, Khang, I don't want you to pay me anything. I'm cool with it. I want to help my buyers out because I'm worried more of the back end. And what they mean by that is they worry about more. So let's just say they bought the property from you. Their buyer bought the property from you for $100,000. And once their buyer fix it up, they can list the house for like $250,000 or $300,000. So their commission is a lot larger. So they're looking more of on the listing side instead of more on the purchase side, right? Helping their buyers buying at your discount price. So you guys will be surprised. I have many agents that say, Khang, it's okay, man. It's all good. I don't want to get paid. I just want to, be able to get my buyers a good price on this deal. I know it's a great deal. Don't worry about it. I want to do a long-term business with you, and things like that, right? Because, right, I pretty much put that out there. Hey, we're doing a lot of volume. We want to create a relationship. We want it to work for everybody, and when we do business with you already, we're going to send it out to you first before we send out to everyone. All right, you guys. So they love to hear that. And like I said, there will be time where the agent will not ask for any fees. But you must ask them the question first, all right? Don't tell them how much you're going to pay them when they bring a buyer. Ask them and let them give you the numbers. All right. And now let's just say if it's too high, you can always renegotiate. You can always say, you know what, John? So I'm just using the name. Hey, you know what, John? This whole assignment fee is really tight for me on this one. I can't do 2,000, but would you consider 1? Right? So you let them give you a number first, then you come back and say, our number's really tight on this one. We'd love to work with you. We love to create a relationship and have this as a long-term business deal. So would you consider 1? And then, come together on agreement on a price that's fair for everybody. All right? But you always want them to give you the number first in case their number is lower than what you think. And you can always be the one that's saying, hey, here's an extra bonus or tips. And you'll be the one that stand out in the crowd in their group. All right, you guys? I do that to multiple agents. They always ask me for a number, and I never give them a number. I always ask them first. To agents, to Bird Dog, to co-wholesaler, anybody that works with me. All right, I ask them first because we want to make sure that they're happy with the numbers. They're happy with it, right? And also too, you kind of get a feel from them saying, hey, what kind of person this is that you're working with? Is he fair? Is he reasonable? Etc. All right, you guys. So ask them first. Like I said, majority of them, some is worried more of the listing side. Once their buyer fix up the property, they're worried about more of listing the property at a higher price to get their commission and want to do more business with you. And they're worried that if they say, hey, you know what, you have to pay me this amount of fee, you're going to be like, well, that's going to come off of my wholesale fee. Well, I'm not going to work with you. I'm going to work with this guy where I don't have to pay you a fee. I can work with this buyer, all right? Sorry about that, you guys got an incoming call, but let's finish this up. So anyways, yeah, so basically what it is that they're afraid to lose the deal to somebody else, and the agent is more concerned about maybe listing the property after their buyer bought it and then do the rehab, because the commission on that deal can be a lot bigger than if they were trying to get a fee from you from a smaller price. All right, so anyways, you guys, so the answer to the question, it is all negotiable. All right, it is all negotiable. There's not a standard flat fee all across the board, what everyone's paying everyone. All right, you guys, it's all negotiable. So the question is, when the agents brought you the buyer, just make sure you ask the agents, is that what is his fee, or what is he looking to get all right? But we have worked with a lot of agents, you guys. There's some that don't want any fees. There's some that said, hey, pay me this much, I'm happy with it. There's some that say, hey, Khang, you know, I don't care what the deal is. If I bring you a buyer, you pay me 2.5% or 3% off the deal, all right, you guys? But it's all negotiable, all right? It's all negotiable, and the best way is to ask that agent first what he wants and let him give you the answer, all right, you guys? But we love working with agents. They, you know, once you have built up the relationship and once they start working with you and then you start paying them, right? You start paying them and they start making money off of your deals, whether you paying them or they're buyers that they bought a deal from you and they get a list of property now and they make, you know, that commission on the back end, and they will come back for more, and they will, once you have the deal you send out to them, they'll hustle and bust whatever it is they need to do to get you that buyers, all right, you guys? So anyways, that's it. I just want to share that quickly with you guys, letting you guys know, typically it's all negotiated. Ask them the question how much they want, all right? Because it's all different depending on every single deals, all right, you guys? But anyways, so let me know what you think. Let me know what you think about this video. Let me know if you guys have any comment, any questions, anything that you guys wanted to share, any tips, any ideas. Drop me a comment. Let me know. I have an open mind, so I love to read you guys' comment. I love to engage with you guys. A lot of times it took me a while to get back to all of your guys' comment because I do get quite a few of them. So I apologize for that. But anyways, if you guys haven't subscribed to my channel, hit that subscribe button. If you guys want to learn more about wholesaling, how you're not going to need your own money, you're not going to need good credit, you're not going to need a construction background, and wholesaling is for you, all right, you guys? So anyways, if you guys haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. For those of you who have subscribed to my channel already, I love you guys. You guys have been a great part and a big impact for me on growing this channel. So I just want to shout out to every one of you that you guys are amazing. And because of you guys, I'm keep on coming out and keep on growing this channel. And I'm so happy for having you guys be a part of my channel, all right? You guys, if you guys like this video, give me a thumbs up. And I'll see you guys next time. Take care. Bye.